Please.
We're live.
Someone will have to check for me.
Let's have a look.
Or I'll just check anyway.
Yeah, you might. It is your stream.
We're live. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, don't ask why we're on here again. I'm pretty sure you've guessed already. It's happened again where Talk Studio decided to buffer. But yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Arsenal All Out in case you didn't join us before. Yeah, unfortunately, again, we are back on StreamYard. Don't ask about the background, by the way. I'm at an old-fashioned cottage at the fucking Lake District, so don't blame me. I'm back tomorrow in my usual setup, so don't you guys worry. But, yeah, I guess we'll start off where we initially left off, which was, of course, the Wigan game. Unfortunately, you guys are going to have to explain once again your thoughts on the game, etc., and you know who we got in the next round of the FA Cup, of course, because it was.
Have you completely deleted that previous stream?
Yes.
But we got half an hour in, and then it started buffering. Could you not have kept that first half an hour up?
No, I couldn't, bro. Jesus Christ.
AT! The GOAT, man. Thank you, AT, bro.
Yo. How you guys doing, man?
Man's got the Brazil shirt on. Do Brazil.
You know what I'm saying? I have 5 World Cups, bro. 5 World Cups. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Rory, how you doing, man? Porsche, Thom the God. Good to see you guys, man.
You
Bless
too.
up,
Yeah, loving the yellow shirts.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So what did happen with Talk Studio again?
It just started buffering. You know when we were on StreamYard like a couple of streams ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was because of that reasoning, and you couldn't join because you had to have like a certain amount of people on here. Because I've not got the upgrade on StreamYard. So,
wow. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it started buffering,
and how far gone have you guys been since 8:30?
I think we're about half an hour in.
Half an hour. As soon as he kicked me out because I made fun of his internet or something, yeah, it ended.
Oh my days! But yeah, I guess.
But for your subscribers, will this be the same link?
You what?
You know, like on YouTube, you had a link, right, where everyone was seeing you where you were on the other one. None of that one has gone bad and you're in here. Will this be the same link or will it be a different link?
Oh, that was the previous link.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was the StreamYard. That was the StreamYard link I sent you because the other one, I mean, it did work, but yeah, it started buffering. And luckily I pointed that out, or else we would have been going on for like an hour without knowing it was buffering.
Yeah. But
anyway, I guess we'll review the Wigan game again because, you know, I deleted it. And Thom wasn't too happy with me about that. But I'm sorry, there's no way I'm having a buffering stream on my YouTube channel. There's just no way.
Yeah. That's not cool, man.
But yeah, Posh, you can keep it brief if you want, but just recap the Wigan game just real quick.
You remember what I said? No, I thought it was very good. Very professional performance, and it was stress-free. I was very impressed with a couple of the players, in particular Christian Norgard, who I thought did very well. Yeah. Someone who I think deserves a bit more game time than the amount of game time he got recently, or all season really. Some of the forward passes he made was very good. Eze did exceptionally well as well. The through ball he made to Madueke for the first goal was great to see. But as I alluded to in the previous stream, it was a very good game, and we're in the draw for the next round, in which we're away to Mansfield. that's a very favourable draw for us on paper. Obviously, I'd have preferred them at home, but I think we've got more than enough to get the job done at Mansfield's ground. So, it's especially considering Man City are away to Newcastle, and we've got, on paper anyway, an easier tie. I think that favours us. So, very pleased with the result, and I'm very pleased with the draw that we have.
Josh, just real quick.
Yeah, likewise, man. Very professional performance. We got the job done. The game was done in 30 minutes, and that's credit to us. Obviously, shame about not seeing Skelly in the midfield because obviously Kala got the injury. As Posh rightly pointed out, Norgard, fantastic. He needs to start for me in the next game against Wolves. I think he deserves a lot more game time. Ben White, likewise him as well. I think he needs to start. Eze, that's Eze that we all know. That's Eze that we wanted to sign. That's the Eze that we saw at Palace, and he was absolutely top class. 2 assists as well. Some of the passing as well from him was absolutely class. So hopefully that gives him that big boost and that pushes him on and he can do it in the Premier League as well. Noni Madueke thought had a great game. Obviously Saka in the midfield as well. I liked it. 45 minutes, looked lively, looked promising. So I think there's a decision there to be made in the next game, what we're going to do with that. And I think overall, very, very happy. They didn't really trouble us too much. Obviously, Arteta made that crazy sub when he brought on Tommy Setford. That's how you knew it was bad for Wigan, man. Like the 4-0 up, the game was done 5 minutes. He said, "Go on then, Setford, have a go and goal." So, and then
made a good claim too, Josh.
Yeah, sorry, so like,
he made a good claim as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him.
First touch of the games as well. So,
but obviously,
has Tommy Setford conceded a goal yet?
No, he hasn't, mate. He hasn't. He's top class, mate.
That's crazy.
He's played more games than Neto did, I think, for us. And Neto's back at goalkeeper, mate. It's mad. Really happy with Mansfield in the draw as well. I think that's a great draw for us, considering some of the teams in there. And as Posh rightly pointed out, City got to go away to Newcastle. St James's Park's a tough place to go to.
Not so straightforward.
So, Mansfield away. Very, very happy with that. Let's go win this FA Cup, man.
Tom Guard. Do you want to recap the game?
Well, everyone's kind of stolen my point on Tommy Setford now. So
that's why I didn't say anything.
It was nice that Kepa came off, though, wasn't it? He didn't talk about it this time.
Yeah, I was going to say Arteta made a huge risk taking Kepa off. Arteta took a huge risk taking Kepa off, obviously with the history of that. It was a nice day out. Obviously, I was at the game. I saw all the goals in front of me. Dom saw them. Well, probably could have used binoculars in that one. The first goal, great pass, and a nice composed goal from Noni Madueke. Second goal was Martinelli. Eze again, playing that pass through to Gabby, and it was another nice finish into the far corner. Martinelli, it was a record today. First player since Ian Wright to get double digits for goals now in cup competitions for Arsenal. First since Ian Wright, so fair play to Martinelli. He's been really good for us in the other competitions other than the Premier League, I think. Hopefully that goal output can convert to the league as well. But I think other players that stood out, Saka in that new role. I'm not gonna say everything about Saka because I've got the analysis coming out tomorrow, a full breakdown. I thought Madueke, what?
Luca.
Yeah, cheers. Other players, Christian Norgard, both the Christians, Uncle Christian and Christian at the back. £15 million, less than that for Mosquera. Absolute joke. If we spent 50 million pounds on him and he was putting in these performances, we wouldn't be complaining. This guy can step into the team. We've seen it at Anfield and other grounds like that. Coming into the team, Stamford Bridge is another example, and he is one for the future for sure. I think he will go. Who's that? What's that clip? He will go right to the very top. He will go right to the very top. Callum Wright as well yesterday, best player in the EFL. Got to see him live.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Barely noticed him, to be fair.
Callum Wright was there. Yeah, he played for Wigan.
yeah, Callum
Barely
Wright.
noticed him, to be
No, I
honest.
didn't either.
He fouled Saka a few times, to be fair. But Mosquera, if we spent £50 million on him, we wouldn't be complaining. I don't think he's been signing of the season because he's not played enough. However, when it comes to best value, I think he's the best value for money transfer in the league this season.
For sure.
I think he's been top for us. Norgard, a player which I think deserves more playing time. And I think against Wolves, there's a real opportunity there for Norgard to come in for Zubimendi, who's played the most games out of any Arsenal player this season. We have now played 40 games now this season in all competitions. Zubimendi's played 36 of them, I think. So what's that? He doesn't get a rest very often. Every 9 games that is, I think.
He plays in he participates in 90% of all games, but obviously minutes wise, it's significantly less than 90%.
Well,
some of them were substitute appearances.
What about Declan?
Yeah. Well,
Declan Rice is about 34 games from memory.
Yeah.
All right.
How am I doing, Tom? I'm assuming you got it in front of me. In front of you.
No, I don't have Declan Rice's numbers in front of me, but off of memory, I think Zubimendi's probably started more games because if you think about Declan Rice, he was unavailable against Aston Villa, and I think against Forest he actually went for Marino in midfield alongside Zubimendi as well. So, yeah.
No, Rice is 36 games as well, Tom. I've just looked it up.
Fair enough. He might have played in the League Cup. Zubimendi, he didn't really play Zubimendi until Chelsea. So, yeah, look, for me, I think it was near a perfect day for Arsenal yesterday. I think what would have made it a perfect day is if Calafiori hadn't picked up that injury. Hopefully he's all right. I think we've got to start looking at moving on Calafiori. I don't think the injuries, availability is the best ability. Same with Ben White, same with Saka. They just get too injured, too injury prone. And when you've got Manchester City chasing you down, it's really, really scary. But I think near perfect day for Arsenal, and solid win, and we move on as someone.
Just quickly, are you saying you would move on Havertz and Saka because of their injuries?
Well, according to the logic that Ben White should be moved on, then yeah.
Oh my days. But to be honest, right, and I think I said this before you eventually came on, Tom. I think I said, maybe Posh and Josh on the panel, and I said I think because of the amount of injuries, and that's twice now that Calafiori has broken down due to warm-ups, by the way, I'm like, maybe it is time to move on for Calafiori. Like, don't get me wrong, he's been a heavy contributor this season. I think he's had a really, really good season. But
mine was sarcasm. This is sounding a lot more legit.
This is what I said to him at the start. I said, "What?
This is legit. This is legit with me as well."
You actually think we should move on Calafiori?
Yeah,
I actually think we should. Because if we're keeping the same energy with the likes of Tierney and Thomas Partey, then surely, come on, great footballers, but too many injuries.
Yeah,
I never suggested getting rid of Kieran Tierney, by the way.
Likewise, bro.
Yeah,
likewise.
I don't think anyone ever did. I think it was literally just Arteta.
On the subject of Calafiori, I know he's become a bit of an injury-prone player, but these injuries and getting injured in the warm-up, it's not just a Calafiori issue. We've seen multiple players get injured in the warm-up as well. We've seen multiple players get injured a lot. Overall, for us, we've had so many injuries, and I've said it must be something to do with training methods, or our medical team is a bit more incompetent than some of the other medical teams out there. But I don't know what we do in the warm-ups, but it has to stop because it's not just Calafiori that gets injured. Saka's done it, Marino's done it. It's been a problem, and we just get so many injuries, and we're now we're now short in the number 10 position again. Almost if get rid of Ethan Wanieri on loan was a bad idea. But I said that in another stream. So.
It's been a continuation for 2 seasons now with Calafiori getting these injuries. Like, this is what I'm saying. I mean, we can't afford no one basically getting injured right now because we need these sort of players to be fit when we're going for a league title in particular, because that's what we really want come the end of the season. That's what we really want. And if they're not available, then what's the point having them around if they're never fit? And this is the point. But I think we'll move on to AT, because I don't think we heard from you, have we, about the game at the weekend. Who impressed you? And of course, let us know what you make of the draw earlier today, because, you know, we drew... It's Mansfield, right? Not Macclesfield.
Mansfield,
Yeah.
Macclesfield.
I keep getting thrown off, you know, between Macclesfield and Mansfield. But
the good news is, Rory, Macclesfield are out. They just lost to Brentford, so you don't need to be confused anymore.
Oh, have they? Okay, that's good then. But AT, what do you make of the game overall, bro?
I wanted Pedro Neto. Arteta out.
No. He scored a brilliant hat trick, and look what our attackers did. Nothing.
Pedro Neto scored a hat trick. We need him at Arsenal. out, and give me Jose Mourinho. That's what I want right now. Good club.
He wins that fixture at least 10-0. I messaged that to Dom yesterday. He knows I actually did.
He did, actually. He really did. I
Dom,
got it on the
you
trade
understand what I'm saying, Dom? Give me Pedro Neto. And I'm not going to talk about any other player in this channel tonight. That's all I want. Okay, let's bring it back, bro. So first things first, I was happy with the depth, right? There's players that I did not want to see on the pitch at all. Gabriel, Declan Rice, Timber. Your career maybe for start padding, but that didn't work out. But I was most of all looking forward to seeing MLS in midfield. So when I saw the lineup and MLS was supposed to be in midfield, I was like, oh yeah, it's high time we try this, right? If you don't try it against Wigan, when else can you do it? But unfortunately, Calafiori gets the injury in the warm-up and MLS has to go to the left back and whatnot. Then we tried Saka there, and I was like, doesn't. Well, obviously, I don't think it's something we'll quite do in the Premier League, though. But at least the option exists that if, the shift comes to show when you have Havertz out, Odegaard out, maybe Easy out, for instance, you can try Saka in the middle, and it wasn't that bad. But for the team, Eze needed to really step up. Because if you look at the Brentford game, it was well deserved taking him out at halftime. So now that he played against Wigan, got the 2 assists, played very well, it was quite good. I'm hoping that he can bring this form against Wolves, because that's very key. They are going to play their usual low block. Wigan was just vibes. This was basically the least stressful game we're going to have in the entire campaign. And at 30 minutes, you're already gone 4-0 up. You even brought your carriers in at halftime so that you can have some more goals. Or it didn't work out that way. And then he hit the crossbar and whatnot. So I was quite happy with the performance. But one thing that kind of made me go crazy was Norgard. Like, we all know how good this guy is, right? He played for Brentford for 7 seasons, was the captain in that club. There are games when you can actually take Zubimendi out to give Norgard some minutes. And he actually proved that, he can actually do a job. But let's just see. I don't think he will start against Wolves. But maybe if we are kind of trying to protect the game later on, we could bring him on. But for the performance, the lad did well. Martinelli, he's just one guy that can be very annoying. Against Nottingham Forest, he had a very empty goal he missed. Against Brentford, he had a chance to win the game for us, he missed. But against Wigan, a very hard chance at the left-hand side, and he managed to put it in, So he's one guy that his inconsistency tends to kind of make me go crazy. But I still appreciate that he's a good squad player. But my more long-term plan is that maybe we need to really get a winger in the summer. Maybe Trossard or something. But till then, as I right now, I'm happy with the performance and let's look forward to Wolves.
And Mr. Domination, how's it going, mate? You good?
Yes, mate, yeah.
How's football today?
They were top of the league. They're no longer top of the league. Giant slayers, mate. Absolute, genuine battle tonight.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, you told me that you were on some sort of villain arc on the geezer that broke your ribs or something.
Yo, it turns out that's next week. So
Oh.
He got the date wrong. Jesus.
I got the team wrong. But yeah, no, all good. 4-3, big battle tonight. 2 goals conceded while I was off after I got a very late one. So I was brought back on for the last 5 minutes to see it out, and I smashed the ball over the fence. That wasted a good 30 seconds.
Dark arts, mate.
Oh god, yeah, yeah. Oh, we conceded a free kick. I stood on top of it and waited to be told by the ref to move back. How far, ref? Is this far enough? No, full well it wasn't. Full works. No wonder I got absolutely clattered continuously. My wife's fuming. She's like, "You're bleeding in 3 different places." I was like, "Oh, worth it." But yeah, more of a battle tonight than it needed to be for us on Sunday. I mean, as Thom alluded to, goals at the far end. So I'm furious at Mikel Arteta. What's that about? His goals are supposed to be down my end. You need to sort that out. But no, I mean, everyone else has said it right. Professional performance, 3-0 up. Wigan dropped deep. We didn't really press too hard. We didn't need to. Yes, it would have been nice to win 6, 7, 8, 9-0, but conserving energy was more important. The games against Wolves and Tottenham this week were more important than that game. Not because obviously you want to lose that game, but because you should win that game comfortably. And indeed, we did. So saving energy was absolutely the right thing to do. I thought Madueke again played well. I think he does need to do that though against Premier League opposition more regularly. You can't just do it against the lesser sides. He's got to be able to do it there. But admittedly, Wigan also left more space. I mean, their line was kamikaze in that first half hour. And it does show what Arsenal can do when given space. And we've done it against better opposition than Wigan this season. The issue is, and this is representative across the Premier League, right? It wasn't a deliberate 6-7. I don't do that. I don't understand that thing. It's why I said 8. Why I said 8-9 straight after, in the hope no one will notice. But yeah, we've seen in the Premier League this season teams be much deeper, and open play goals across the league are right the way down. So you'd expect us to be able to exploit the space as we've done, in Europe and in the couple season. Boys that said it, Norgard was excellent. I actually wouldn't start him against Wolves, but certainly I'd be bringing him on. If you've seen the game out, you bring him on, gets one of Rice or Zubimendi off. I think that's where he should be used more rather than necessarily starting more. That would have done him the world of good. He's looked short of confidence. 2 lovely balls through. Work rate was there. And by the end, I thought he was still lacking confidence a little bit, sort of going into the last 10, 15 minutes in front of goal. He had a lovely bit of play where he beat 2-3 players in the box, and he ran out of room a little bit, but he didn't get his foot round the ball enough. And there were times when he was a little bit taking extra touch rather than shooting. But his last action of the game, I don't know if anyone remembers, it was a snapshot from inside the box. He went straight at Tickle, the man with a funny name. If anyone gets the reference, congratulations. Possibly only Bertie. But Mr. Tickell. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Bertie got it. That's all. Straight at him. But what was really impressive, I thought, about that was he took a touch to get it out his feet and hit it first time, which suggested to me his confidence was coming back. And I think we're going to need that in the coming weeks. But the man I don't think's got quite such a mention tonight is Marley Salmon. I thought he was really good when he came on. He looked really calm and composed on the ball. Was up for the battle. Shame he didn't get a play longer at centre half because Ben White came off. I don't actually think he's too injured. I think that was just simply a precaution. He said he wasn't injured.
There's no injury.
Yeah, exactly. And he just the way he stomped off the pitch was a clear message of I'm not injured. But Arsenal at that point weren't going to make they weren't going to take any risks. But as a guy said, the only 2 downsides of the game were Calafiori obviously in the warm up. Again, our muscle injuries are about normal for a season, just to be clear. But the warm-ups do seem to be an issue. I don't know what's going on there, whether this is just freak or not, but it's getting a bit too high to be freak. But I also don't know what you do because you can't not warm up because that will definitely make it worse. But yeah, I mean, a really good day. Got Mansfield next round, as Bertie said at the top. You expect to win that game. You'll be able to rotate for that game, win the game. And even if City do beat Newcastle, they're not going to be able to rotate for the game. And that's really good for the title running from an Arsenal perspective.
So sorry, when do we play that game? What date is it?
6th or 7th of that is not 6th 7th, by the way. 6th or 7th of March.
I didn't even do that on purpose. I didn't mean to set you up.
6th or 7th of March.
Oh my!
See, it's actually that date.
March 7th, between Brighton and Everton.
In between Brighton and
That's a
Everton.
yellow card. That's a yellow card for now.
Wait, do we play midweek in the Premier League before then?
Brighton away on the 4th of
Yeah,
March.
Brighton away is midweek.
Don't
Is
worry,
that-
I've already given him a yellow card for that. So
You can't book me
That's
for
a
that one. That's
Wednesday.
what I said to the. I didn't get booked tonight actually because I was perfect, but
well, it's your
I
first one of the night. So there you go.
Can
I
just say
did get their
quickly,
players booked.
Dom,
I like
on
Valentine's
the whole
Day gift, I guess.
on the whole goal situation. You literally got to see Havertz in the team go mental right in front of you. So
I did,
That's
yeah.
what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that was right in front of me as well. Yeah.
You can have
the
that
Chelsea.
one.
The Chelsea fans didn't see it. They'd left by then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my day. Dom, you wanted to say something about Madueke because
Go on and set this one up. You're in a 1960s spy safe house, so you know the Russians won't find you.
I'd rather be
That's
in one
mad.
right now. To be fair, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ,
Rory
'cause
should be coming to
how
us in black
brilliant
and
this
white.
Looks, by the way, nah.
You should be coming to us in black and white with that background.
Is it black and white?
No, you should be coming to us in black and white. You're too old.
I was about to say, to be fair, my computer screen is black and white at the moment. For some
In
reason, but-
Rory's world, Alan Sunderland hasn't scored that goal in the '79 Cup final yet.
Oh my days! But yeah, you're talking to me about Madueke privately on WhatsApp, and
Make sure you
I
caveat
wanna
this
hear
correctly
this.
so I
I
don't
wanna
get
hear
killed.
I want to hear this on tonight's show. I've been saving it all day, so take the mic.
So yeah, I want. So Rory was going to set this up a little differently, which was I made a comparison earlier between Madueke and Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, and I want to be really clear at the top. Bertie's reaction is what everyone's screaming at the computer.
He's gone
I want to be really clear here that I'm not saying. Right, can't bear with me.
Hear him out. Hear him out. Let's hear it. Let's hear
This
it.
is going to get clipped. So I want to be really clear at the top.
No, sorry. Before you continue, can you show me your meds?
No, bear with me. Obviously, I am not comparing the quality of the player at all. Like Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, one of the world's best ever. Madueke is not going to reach that level. But where I think there is a comparison is between the very early days of Ronaldo at Manchester United and Madueke here. Because Madueke comes in being able to play on either side, sort of across the front line. He's got all the tricks. He can take on a player. He's got all the skills. But he runs down too many blind alleys. He looks a bit raw, and he hasn't got that final end product, which is very similar to Ronaldo. Now, he's not going to reach the heights of Ronaldo, just again, to be really clear on this one. But my hope here is that he has to improve that end product. We were talking about it last week. I think Josh was making the point on it, which I agreed with, and I think others did too. My hope is, and I was watching him really closely again, and again, it was Wigan, but I've seen his defensive work really improve already, sort of similar to Martinelli. But actually, what I thought was really noticeable on this game here, and this is coaching, and this is sort of similar to, this is where I was making the comparison that coaching hopefully will improve Madueke like it did Ronaldo. It's not going to go to the same level, which is again there. But I was just thinking about Alex Ferguson talking about Ronaldo, about how they drilled it into him that you don't always have to do a trick, just do the sensible thing with a run, with a pass, with your interchanges, getting your head up earlier. And I start to see some of that actually on Sunday, because second half he was in front of me for most of the game. He was interchanging with Gabriel Jesus. His head was up much earlier, and his delivery looked a lot better. And I think that has got to do something with coaching, and that's why I was making the comparison in my head, because I just remember Ferguson talking about all of that work he had to do with Ronaldo, because he had all the same sort of skill set, obviously to a higher level when he first arrived at 19, 20 at Manchester United, and actually over time that really improved to the point his end product was significantly better. So I'm hoping as the second half of the season goes on, we start to see some improvement from him. But again, just to be clear, not Cristiano Ronaldo level, not going to go to that level. But that is my hope here, that it did look, he looked very different to when I saw him against Chelsea. Now, the game state was very different, obviously, but even very different to Brentford. What he has to do now is do it consistently, of course, and do it against better opposition. But that's where I was just interested in thoughts. Do we think that Madueke is going to improve, or do we think this is going to be his level? Because I think he can improve just based on coaching, that sort of thing.
That's a good way to put it, to be fair.
Which
To be fair-
Ronaldo are we talking, by the way? 18-year-old Ronaldo?
Yeah, the early days Manchester United Ronaldo, first season and a half, because he had all the tricks. He beat players with a trick, but then he beat them again, but never could deliver the ball. And it reminds me of. It's an unfair comparison because Ronaldo, obviously one of the greats, but it very much reminds me of Madueke. He's got all the skills. He can beat a man. He can stand him up. But he makes the wrong decision, ends up in the blind alley or not whipping the ball in when he should, getting his head up, and that's very reminiscent of early day Ronaldo.
Don't you think Ronaldo? Do you think Ronaldo at that time was a problem for Arsenal? Because I remember, I wasn't around back then, but I remember.
I was.
I would have been
He actually could dribble.
Yeah,
He kind of split Ashiko's legs into.
I've been told that Ronaldo, back when he was 18, 19, he was giving all sorts of problems to like Sebastian Cole, etc.
Yeah. There was one that was really bad.
He 100% could. No question about it. Sorry, a little bit of a burp there. I don't think anyone noticed, so I'll just tell everyone by talking about it. What was I going to say? You absolutely could, but Madueke can too, but it's not consistently enough. And he had the tricks. He could beat the player. But
That was actually cool doing the splits there, man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Ronaldo's level is above Madueke's, but the reason I was comparing it is the similarities in terms of the issue, which is that consistency in the final ball, got all the ability to beat a player. But obviously Ronaldo's level, again, just to be very clear, higher than Madueke's. I'm not comparing them from that point of view, but just in terms of where he had to improve and how coaching and working with that improved. And, it was Wigan, but I did notice quite a considerable improvement in that area on Sunday.
Yeah, but then again, for a guy that we paid £50 million for, it's expectation that should come with it. He just learned that we're kind of seeing the fruits of it. 3 goals in his last 5 games. Early in the campaign, there was basically no output from him. So I'm actually happy that he's actually coming up with some results, because in the end, we need everyone to actually come up with something between now and the end of the season. Clearly, we're not going to have a Haaland type of guy that will score all the goals. Or if all the players within the team can come up with 1 or 2 goals, maybe 10 year, 15 year, 12 year, that'll probably help us in the long run.
To be fair, when I play social football on a Wednesday against the U13s, I reckon I hit the heights of right-footed Messi.
Yes,
but a quick question, Thom. Against Wolves, do you think Madueke should keep his place, or should Saka go ahead of him?
I think it's going to depend on Saka's fitness, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's we were talking in the group chat before, and I think it was Logan was saying, that he would have started Madueke. I said I'd have started Saka because I felt Saka needed 45, 60 minutes. As it happens, both of them started there. So I think it will depend on what the minutes need. But Saka, I'd rather have Saka for longer against Spurs than I would Wolves, obviously. So I think Madueke will keep his place. And look, to be clear again, he needs to be more consistent. He needs to improve that. He still isn't doing it consistently. His form is better in the recent games, but against Brentford, he didn't really do a lot. I know he got the goal, but other than that, he didn't really do a lot. The previous couple of games, he was in and out. He's still a moments player, and that's where he needs to improve. And that's, as I say, where I hope, the coaching will sort of come in and make a difference to him. But he does need to be that. The £50 million, I think you're right to mention it. But I just think it's a going rate for wingers. We talked about it last week. I think it's ridiculous. There's another one whose name I'm missing as well. But
that's Josh. No, not Neto.
Neto was 45-50 million as well. But
how much did Kudus go for? Was it
Kudus? 50-55. Elanga, Garnacho, thank you, Garnacho. Which is definitely an overpay. But that's the market. That's the market. I think that's too high, but I think all transfer fees are ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Right,
any response, Posh, to the Madueke comment? Because you went off camera for a couple of seconds.
Oh my god! I mean,
and apparently
I missed that. Like me, that are the deluded ones. I don't know.
to be clear, Posh, I wasn't saying he was on the same level as Ronaldo. Like, let's be really clear.
You could have compared him to another player, though, couldn't you?
I couldn't think of one. It's only. I'll tell you why. It's only because, funny enough, by pure chance, I was reading on the train up on Sunday about Alex Ferguson talking about Cristiano Ronaldo and the training he'd done, which is why it sort of sprung to mind. It was old quotes from like 10, 15 years ago, but he was talking about how training and coaching is still really important, which is what brought it back to my mind, because I remembered him talking about it, which is why I make the comparison. But again, player wise, completely different levels, obviously.
I'm trying to think like where we were before we came on here. I think it was
that bombshell happened.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't get killed as much as I thought it was going to be. Hopefully, the caveating helped.
He didn't.
No. Like, if you had showed us your meds, it would have been easier on us. Because you're certainly high on something at that point.
Oh, dear me. I think that would have been fair had I not caveated early doors.
But yeah, guys, I wanted to quickly touch on. I think we spoke about it briefly a couple of shows ago, actually. Who we would play as the number 10 and striker, and I think a lot of you said Eze and Gyökeres, but with Saka added to the mix, I kind of want to reiterate the question a little bit. Who would you guys play in the 10 right now? Because you've got Saka, you've got Odegaard, you've got Eze, you've got Havertz. Who else have you got? So you've got 4 players in that position, maybe 5. If I'm missing some. I mean, do you want to count Max Dowman, maybe?
Jesus played it at times against Wigan. We almost played 2.
Yeah, but he didn't look convincing, though.
No, he looked tired at that point, to be honest.
Yeah.
Wait, who was?
Jesus.
He dropped deep.
Yeah, I think that was because he just happened to be on the pitch, and we sort of made our subs at that point.
Yeah, and we do have a comment here. Why not play Eze or Trossard on the left wing, play Saka as the 10, play Madueke on the right, then you can play both. The thing is, right, and I like the idea. Do you guys like the idea of playing both right wingers?
No.
In fact, let me would you guys
score while you're doing that? Did you score there, Josh?
Yeah. You know, you get a sound every time.
You playing Football Manager there?
The teams are just warming up, so there's going to be an injury in a minute. That's actually true. By the way,
out there and make a difference.
As I said,
I'll just start the game.
As I was saying, right? Bloody hell, I can't get my words out. Would you guys like the idea of playing, or should I say starting, Madueke and Saka? So both right wingers starting from the off, or would you guys just prefer Saka, or one of Saka and Madueke playing?
Well,
I'm for it.
Yeah, I mean,
it worked well against. I know it's only. I know it's only Wigan, but it did work well on yesterday. So I'll be keen to see how it works against Wolves. If it doesn't work against Premier League opposition, then it was an anomaly. But I don't know. It's no harm in trying these things, especially against a team like Wolves. It'll be even more of a risk trying it at the North London derby. You can't really experiment like that for a game like that. But we'll see.
I think he's got to take risks at this point with what we've been seeing with the midfielders in that position overall. Because don't get twisted. Havertz came back and he looked really promising. I thought we had a really good link up with Gyökeres, and I actually said start Gyökeres and Havertz together going forward from now, because they had a really good partnership together. So obviously now he's got injured, and that sort of frustrated a lot of things. I just feel I agree with Posh. I'd give it a go again against Wolves. You know, Saka in the midfield, Noni on the right. See what it's about, because it's going to be a completely different ball game in the Premier League. Going away against the teams are going to be more compact as well. There's going to be less space for him, like he had against Wigan. It's going to be a lot more physical for him as well. You know, we see how many times he gets fouled as it is when he plays on the right wing. I think it's a bit of a bigger responsibility when you're actually playing in that 10 position. So yeah, I'd definitely give it a go. But yeah, as you said, if it doesn't work, like it has been for the majority of our, you look at Odegaard, not worked out there this season. Eze, not worked out there. But again, could that be a factor that how well he played against Wigan? You know, he got them 2 assists. He looked really promising. Hopefully that'll give him a boost, and then we'll start seeing the best of him for the second half of the season. So I think it's a massive decision, but I probably would go with give Saka a go there, man, and play Noni again on the right, because they seem to be having a good link up. But as you said, Posh, it is only Wigan, so let's see what happens in the Premier League.
Yeah, I wasn't really comfortable with it, in all honesty. Yes, it was Wigan, but Saka is someone that hugs the ball a lot, and that position requires you to actually release the ball real quick. So yes, they had, because the nature of how Wigan played against us, that high line was really suspect and terrible. It gave Saka, Madueke, and Eze a chance to play around with them. But when you're playing a team like Wolves, you're going back to your low block, Saka will not really have the opportunity to do what he wants to do through the middle, because he's more suited to play in the wings. There's also a potential for him having clashes with Madueke, because that's their natural habitat, and you're not playing him in a position that he's not too familiar with. I don't think this is the time to be trying that. If there may be sometime early in the Champions League, where we're playing against Kairat Almaty or maybe Athletic Club, but right now you're in the position where you have 12 games to go, and you need to play your best positions in your best players in their best positions. Eze is doing very well in the game against Wigan. If, for instance, now you bring Eze on and he struggles, then you can attempt it. Maybe bring Madueke, then maybe Saka come to the middle, something like that. But I don't think we should start. But
AT, do you not think Eze has? I don't think Eze has been performing good enough in the Premier League.
No, he has not. He has not.
This is why I'm saying I would change it.
So then again, Eze is a moments player, right? And there's one part that has to do with giving him confidence. And I think this Wigan game gave him some level of confidence. And another thing is, remember that in his Crystal Palace days, it's towards the end of the campaign, he tends to go like on his streak, score loads of goals and whatnot. Obviously, he's not Crystal Palace anymore, no doubt. But I think he needs to be rewarded for what he did against Wigan. Just try him out, even if it's for maybe 60 minutes against Wolves. Then if it doesn't work out, then hey, you take him out. Because we don't have to have more options.
Why not play both? Like we did against Wigan. No, like we did against Wigan.
Yeah, but obviously, if you do that now, you won't play Trossard.
No. Eze and Saka together in the midfield.
And just play 1-6.
Yeah.
Play 1-6. Oh, no, I don't think Wolves. They have.
We're playing. Yeah, they're low. We need the creativity players to break down low block.
Yeah, but 18, right? You just pointed out that Wolves may come into this game and play a low block. So, like, where's the risk in that? You might as well take it if Wolves are coming into this game with a low block, which, because they're at home, it may encourage them to actually come out, because at the Emirates, like, everyone, or I should say the vast majority of teams come to the Emirates just to park the bus.
Yeah.
But because Wolves are at their own place, it may encourage them to come out a little bit more, so it'll allow more space in behind. But you wouldn't play just 1-6.
Yeah. No, I won't mind the idea of that, in all honesty. But then again, I think I would like Declan Rice to play that box-to-box role. Playing him as a 6 kind of limits him to a certain degree, even though he can do it. But he has this penchant for going forward. And obviously, you don't want to take him out rather than Zubimendi, right?
Yeah.
Against West Ham, we wanted to try that, play the Rice at the 6 with Odegaard and Eze, when the guy got the injury, and we never got the opportunity to try that ever again.
Yeah.
Or play Norgard.
Yeah?
Or play Norgard in there then.
If you play Norgard, I'm going to bench Rice.
Yeah.
Woo!
Well, you wouldn't bench him, you'd rest him, right? I mean,
Yeah,
No,
but
I'd
rest
start
him,
Rice
not
against
drop him or
Wolves.
anything. Just rest him because he's played an awful lot.
We're in crunch time right now, bro. We can't afford such errors. Or
Bro, Norgard's not shit. We're playing bottom of the league here.
no.
My midfield would probably be Rice, Norgard, and Eze against Wolves.
Oh yeah, if I was being not,
Rice,
I would take
Norgard,
Zubi
and
out,
Saka.
not Rice. If I was to bring on
I
Norgard,
get it.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're playing Saka and Eze in the midfield together, then you can't obviously play Rice. And...
Norgard is not that agile, bro. I'm not all about that life. I'd rather play Rice. I like Norgard, but sometimes some people just have their level. It's just the honest truth. You might play against a team that has very fast midfielders, like what happened to Mendy against Man United, when Dogu and Bruno and Mino were running circles around him. Norgard wouldn't have done any better in that kind of game.
Yeah, but
But
we're
again,
playing Wolves. We're playing Wolves on
You've just
Wednesday.
said you think they're going to come with a low block. So, like, what's the need to play with?
Yeah, but if you take out Rice, what about your set pieces? Don't you need your set pieces in the game?
Well, I think
You
set
shouldn't
pieces
need
wise.
set pieces to beat bloody bottom of the league.
Well, sorry, really quickly,
We did in December, but that's not Arteta's fault.
you might need set pieces actually because we're seeing more and more goals from set pieces right the way round. Like only one team out of the 17 league teams that were in the Premier League last season have actually increased their open play goal percentage this year.
Mhm.
That's Manchester United. We are seeing more and more set plays, and that's because those lines are getting deeper and deeper, and therefore that's the type of area you can get an advantage. But you know, if you're worrying about set pieces, I don't think you pick your side just for set pieces, right? And I think Rice is obviously excellent about that. If you've got Saka on the side, you've got Eze did a decent enough job on corners at the weekend. Noni has got several assists on corners as well. You know, you've got players that can take the set pieces. I think when you're looking at this team against Wolves, I think there's sort of two things that sort of come to mind. Well, three things. One, you don't take a risk on any player that might be carrying any kind of injury risk. Of course, all players have got an injury risk, but you know what I mean. Let's say, let's say that Calafiori is fit to start, you know, but you probably don't risk him against Wolves, right? Because he, you know, obviously pulled out in the warm-up. I'm just using him as an example. So that's the first thing. I think the second thing is you need to look at the way Wolves play, and I think we will need a little bit of power in there, and that for me means it's Declan Rice for that sort of midfield heft and running. Wolves will try and hit on the break. That's where they're going to try and get their goals, and I think that makes Declan Rice really crucial. I think then the question is, do you put Zubimendi or Norgard alongside him? You know, I think we have to win this game, so I go Zubi, but I have absolutely no problem with Christian Norgard. He's not let us down at all. But I think the real question on the number 10, right, is I think Eze has to be in this side v Wolves because he's found some confidence and form, and I think you A, need to reward that, and B, he's clearly a confidence player, and therefore if you were to drop him from this one, even if you say I'm only resting you ahead of Spurs, no, I think you have to start him. So I think that either means he plays 10 against Wolves or he plays left wing and Trossard comes out. Trossard has looked really good in the last couple of games as well. Yeah. You know, I mean, Odegaard, I thought was our brightest player in that period between half-time and the goal, and then obviously got the knock and, you know, was anonymous after that. Trossard was probably the next best attacking player we had and, you know, has been consistently all season, to be fair. So that's where you get Eze in there. But I have absolutely no problems. If you are going to do... So I think what I'd probably do is start Madueke, start Eze at 10 and Trossard, against Wolves, because I think pace is going to be less of a weapon here because of how deep they're going to be. You're probably going to want the trickery and then, you know, try and hit them with pace maybe late on as they're tiring, possibly. But what you could do is go Eze or Trossard come off and Saka comes on and goes into a 10 as in that game, and then you've got both options. But I would certainly go with the two 6-8 hybrids and Zubimendi and Rice for this one. Partly because then you've got the sort of familiarity ahead of Spurs, although obviously that's relatively familiar across the season. But secondly, you know, having Saka coming on in that 10 means you've got an option. You know, he can play right wing, but also it keeps Igor or Tudor, whatever his name is, guessing a little bit because Spurs will have had all week to prepare, plus a 5-day rest. They've just come back from a 5-day break because they
don't play midweek, do they? Like we do.
No. So So he's got all week. The Spurs players came back to training day. He's got all week. So in some ways, the ideal is you win the game comfortably and you do some odd things, which keeps him guessing about how we're going to do it against Tottenham. I mean, if I'm Tudor, I still assume that we're going 4-2-3-1. Again, and that's what we're going to do. But at least with Saka, he goes, is it going to be Saka? Is it going to be Eze? Is it going to be Odegaard in against us? At least, and there's sort of different players in that position. And that might just sort of at least get him guessing a little bit. But I think I start Eze at 10 on.
I think you make a great point with Eze there, man. The whole confidence thing, because he just had that fantastic game against Wigan. You know, got 2 assists, looking back to his best. Imagine if we drop him after that. Like, what's that? What message does that send? You know, he's played that well. You're thinking, all right, he's proved something to the manager. The manager's looking at that thinking, yeah, you know what? He's actually took his opportunity. It's gave something for Arteta to think about. I think he's got to start against Wolves, and I hope he carries it over.
There's also something else that Arteta needs to think about as well, right? And I've clocked this over the years with him. I've seen this manager play Trossard in the big games, which, fair enough, he is a big game player and he has popped up with a couple of clutch moments. But he plays Martinelli in the games where teams are going to sit deep, where it's just not his game whatsoever. He thrives off space. And it won't surprise me if he goes with Martinelli on Wednesday because of that reason. Obviously, he scored at the weekend yesterday. So it won't surprise me if he plays Martinelli in the game on Wednesday, because for some reason he has this obsession of playing Martinelli against the low blocks, but Trossard in the big games. Yeah. When really it should be the other way around. It should be vice versa. Do you know where I'm coming from? So I think for me, I agree with Dom. I think we've got to play Trossard on the left. I wouldn't be against playing Saka as the 10 if we are dropping Eze, because I think, you know, Saka can definitely play that role well. It's just, you know, if he's dropped for Odegaard, that's where we have a problem, if he's coming straight back into the team. And we've got a comment here. Why not play a 3-2-4-1? That's the formation that City played when they won the treble, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was.
So play Rice and Zubimendi, then Eze and Saka in midfield, play Trossard and Madueke on the wings, Yoko as a striker. You lot need to take risks, go big or go home. It's a shout, but I don't know when we're ever going to play 3 at the back.
No.
Sorry, go on, Posh. Go on.
It's a great idea, but the problem is we've got a manager that is so obsessed with one formation.
Yeah, exactly.
There are tweaks within the formation, but the formation stays fairly. But also, if you haven't played a back 3, you don't want to go to that as a back 3 now. I would not be changing the defensive shape of this team. It is the strength of this team. Let's be, and also, you know, defenders need that sort of consistency and understanding positionally. You don't want to change it. Maybe in game if you're pushing for a goal, and we've seen us do that before. So I don't think it will happen. As Posh and Josh just said, we've seen tweaks to the system. Obviously, we started 5 at the back originally, but that was way back. We played this formation-ish for the last 3-4 seasons. We've seen minor tweaks, as I say, with like Havertz pushing closer or inverting fullbacks, not inverting fullbacks, that sort of thing. But they're tweaks within that fairly set system, and that won't change. That's not uncommon. By the way, that's not uncommon for managers either. They tend to be relatively set. There are exceptions, Thomas Tuchel, for instance, but generally speaking, that's...
I like to think that our formation doesn't focus on control. When you play 3 at the back, control, right? More of transition. And what we play now is a game that is focused on control. So you want to see what he's back for. And then again, there's also the understanding that the defenders have amongst each other. You don't want to break that right now. Like, we are at a very critical point, guys. It's just 12 games to go.
You definitely can't change it when we're so close.
This season, you have won 31 matches, 32 matches out of the 40 games with one formation. And now you want to change? Nah, doesn't make any sense to do that, boys.
No, I agree.
Yeah, 100.
But I think now we're on the Wolves game, we might as well go on to the lineup side of things. So in fact, we'll go on to, you know, pretty much thoughts on the game. This is almost like do or die for me. Like if we don't beat Wolves on Wednesday, then I think we could class Man City as favourites for the league. I hate to be that guy, but if you can't be bottom of the league, you don't deserve to be the top.
What's the point?
You are?
What's the point? Like, if you cannot beat Wolves, what's now the point? Because then again, Man City is going to have a game in hand. We cannot play the game in hand is like Jamie Lannister's hand. You know, it's Crystal Palace at home. I think Palace right now
they're full off.
Yeah,
they fell off.
They've got Chelsea away, to be fair, and obviously us at home.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So psychologically, it's good to have the 7 points, right? And we'll have it up until maybe sometime in March, April, or something when they play the Crystal Palace.
Yeah, it's going to be April. It hasn't been announced yet, but it's got to be because it's got to be post League Cup. It could be.
They have to find a window when they are both free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So we need to win Wolves. There's no excuse around this. Come on, Wolves are the worst team in the Premier League right now. They have a manager that is basically set up for championship football, and that's what they are doing right now. Yeah. Yes, when they came to the Emirates, it was a very difficult game. You know, we had to meet our guy OG, who comes up with the goods when things are tough. You know, set piece to own goal. That's like a Dream Arsenal type of goal, man. So I don't mind us doing that again on Wednesday. I really don't care. Just give me my 3 points and leave. The game against Brentford was very, very annoying. When we were leading 1-0, there was that moment when Odegaard won the ball and gave it to Rice. I don't know why Rice didn't shoot for the life of me. And we were so casual, you know, you're not really with our players sometimes. But this is a game that we have no choice. We need to just win. And I think we are good enough to get a victory against Wolves.
What would be your lineup, AT, then?
Okay, so I'll do Raya in goal. Hincapié, because I don't know how bad this Calafiori's injury is, but I don't think he might be fit enough in time to play Wolves. So Hincapié and left back. Timber was rested, so Timber and right back. Of course, the two big boys, Gabriel and Saliba. Then I'll do Zubimendi and Rice in midfield. Eze as the 10. Madueke on the right. Trossard on the left. And Gyökeres in attack. I'll bring Saka in second half. I don't think he's fully fit yet.
Would you not start Ben White instead of Timber right now?
No.
I think Timber's looked a little bit off the pace lately. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but he got a rest this weekend.
Yeah, but we've got another opportunity to rest him, though.
And I know he didn't get injured, but Ben White hobbled off on yesterday.
But he's got no injury, though. He's
already... Yeah, but that was an Instagram story. We need to wait for our physios to come and tell us the real truth.
No, this is a scam story.
But he's already confirmed that it's no injury, though.
He didn't look injured when he went off, to be fair. He really did.
As well. And he was on the bench as well. He didn't go straight down the tunnel.
Yeah. So it looked like a cramp, though, not necessarily like a hamstring injury. But I think I'll play Timber. Then maybe if I leading like maybe 2-0, I can bring him White as a sub.
I was thinking Mosquera at right back, to be honest.
No.
Serious?
He's not that agile to bump up and down the pitch, man.
No,
I have no concerns about him playing anywhere.
If we are going to come up against low blocks, though, I think playing Ben White is that risk you're willing to take because he's the backup, right?
Yeah, but
he got Timber rested.
Yeah, but Timber has very good close control.
You what?
And that will help with our build-up.
What, with Timber playing at right back?
Yeah.
But Ben White, we know what he can provide going forward. And his final ball against low blocks as well. Like, he should be the right back for me.
Yeah, I see your point, though. But
because we got Spurs at the weekend, right? So you would have had Timber rested for Wigan and Wolves, two games that can definitely afford to rest him in. Ben White's more than good enough to play as a right back.
So here's my fear. If you play Ben White and he comes down again with like an injury, that's a sub wasted too, bro. You know, against Wigan, we could afford to do stuff like, you know, bring on Saka in the middle, just vibe and whatnot. But if you have a Ben White that played against Wigan and he didn't even play 90 minutes, That's a concern.
It's a risk. It's a risk that you're willing to take. At the end of the day, if my grandma had wheels, should be a bike, right? He's the backup right back. You can afford to take that risk and play him on Wednesday against bottom of the league. And if he goes down again, then you've got Timber to obviously come at right back for the weekend, who's fresh. Because again, I could just say, well, if you play Timber, you're risking him, aren't you, against bottom of the league?
Yeah.
When there's no need to, because the guy looks jaded. So that's what I would do. I'd probably play Ben White right back.
So I'll finish that against Brentford. If your ball went to Martinelli instead for that one-on-one, you know he would have scored, right? Because you'd have had the pace to go beyond that defender. But Timber was already knackered in the game, and he wouldn't try to go and give Martinelli the chance, even though he missed it. So I see your point as well.
I thought Timber had one of his worst games against Brentford. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think that was one of his worst games I've seen from Timber, to be honest with you.
I thought defensively looked fine, but he did lack something going forward, attacking wise. I mean, I didn't say he was exceptional against Brentford. I thought he looked fine, right? But I would have brought Ben White on in that game for 20 minutes to go for exactly the reasons you've just said, Rory. I think if you are looking to get behind the top, Ben White's power and pace on that overlap is really quite something, and it is a weapon that he has much more effectively than Timber. Timber's attacking play has definitely improved, but Ben White is obviously the better attacking defender, and I think that will be crucial. I think the decision on the right back is really simple one, though, on Wednesday. Is Ben White fit or not? If he is fit and you're not worried about his workload or anything like that, because he has shown that he's been injury prone in the last year or two, then I think you're probably going to have to go with Timber for the reasons AT just said. But if you're not concerned about his injury record or fitness at all, then I think it's a game for Ben White from a tactical perspective. I think
but even the Wolves game when he hurt his hamstring, right? When they had that counter attack that he was trying to recover.
Yeah, but that was stupid because he played him 4 times in a row. That was insane. Like he'd just come back from basically a year or so out. That was just mental to overload him there. But you know, I think that was workload rather than because he just happened to be playing Wolves. It's just a coincidence.
You can still bring on Timber in the second half though if you need to.
I'm still concerned with his fitness. Ben White doesn't look fit. And even when he plays, sometimes you just have that potential that he might even get injured. It's unfortunate. You know, when he was playing a lot of games for us, he was playing through injuries as well, and it has finally caught up with him.
Yeah, but again, I think if he is fit, you've got to play him for this one, and give Timber another break.
Yeah, fair enough.
But what I really want to see is I want to sign someone called Wood and bring on Timber and Wood together just for my own amusement.
That's mad.
I don't think Chris Wood is available at the moment.
Chris Wood ain't available.
He's been out since October, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That's a red card. That's a red card.
Oh no, the stream's gonna go now.
No, it shouldn't. It's StreamYard. Thom, we've not really heard from you in a while. What are your thoughts going into this Wolves game? Because to me, it's massive and it's do or die for this title race for me. But what do you make going into this game?
Well, hopefully we can get a nice 3 points and move on. I'm not gonna lie. It's Wolves. They're bottom of the league. They haven't hit double digits for points yet this season. I can't see anything less than a win, to be honest with you. Look, when you're in the position that we're in, all that matters is getting 3 points. So even if it is the same story as what it was at the Emirates, scrappy on goals, I'd take it. 3 points is 3 points, and you can go into the North London derby with back-to-back wins on the bounce. So yeah, for me, look, it's quite difficult to say what I'd go for because I want you lot to. I don't really want to spoil what I'm releasing tomorrow, but for me, I was very intrigued. I think the word is to see what we did against Wigan, and obviously it was due to unfortunate circumstances. But as I said, it was a blessing in disguise. I want to see more of it. And there was a comment from Zatum, I think his name is, not the most recent one, but there was one earlier on in the stream. He put the same one on the other stream as well about Eze and Saka and Madueke, and I want to see all three of them together again. I thought they were all impressive, and I think you can get Saka into the central positions where he will be more threatening. I think because he's closer to goal, and people will criticise the fact that he's had quite a quiet season in front of goal, but so have Premier League forwards in general, to be honest with you. If you look at Haaland, obviously by his standards, which he set so high, he's still hitting the huge amount of goals. But if you look over the last few weeks, he's been going through a bit of a goal drought. Mo Salah's not hit the same numbers that he did last season.
Yeah.
So I do think that it is just the way that the Premier League's evolving and the way that teams are set up against dangerous attacks. You see it against Arsenal quite a lot. So, I don't think that that's something to worry about in particular. I just think it's the way that football's adapting. As I think Thom said, there's a huge decrease in the amount of open play goals that are being scored in the Premier League now, and that is simply just because of the way it's going. But
goals and open play goals are down right the way across the league. Only Manchester United bucked the trend. Spoiler.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So for me, it's nothing to worry about, and hopefully we can win on Wednesday night. Hopefully it'll be a good game.
Oh bloody hell! Josh Xerxes just scored against me. Having a bad day at the office when he scores.
Xerxes, Jesus Christ.
Oh my days. Dom, or should I say Fat Man?
Did you say Fat Man?
No, Fat Man.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I weigh 8.5 stone. There's no way I'm fat. I think I'm up to 8 stone 9 these days. Put a bit of weight.
Look at you.
I'm also tiny, Posh. I'm like 5 foot tall. Still beat their centre forward in the area.
God, I actually don't know if I got your thoughts on the Wolves game coming up.
Do you know, if you're going to be a spy, you've got to remember the details, Rory. No, I mean, I don't think, while the Brentford game was disappointing, I don't think it's make or break at this point, because I think that teams are going to drop points between now and the end of the season, both us and City. But I agree that this is one where you'd go there and you would have a serious concern if you didn't win the game, partly because you'd be dropping points twice in a row. Brentford were the second form team in the league at the time, but even so, you'd expect to probably go and win there. Against Wolves, I don't see how there's any scenario where you shouldn't be winning this game if you want to win the league. Upsets do happen every now and again, but this would be massive upset. So I think Arsenal definitely have to win this game if they want to go to City and win. And I think then you would be as then I think you're probably making City favourites at that point, because your gap's 5 points. City beat Palace and you'd expect them to. It's down to 2. So I think it is really, really important to win the game on Wednesday. And I expect to win the game on Wednesday. In terms of the performance, I don't think it's going to be a thriller unless we score early. If we get a goal early, it could be a very different game. But I think even if we went 1 or 2-0 up, I really don't think Wolves are going to come out at any stage in the game. They're going to sit in for the entire game. So I think the best you can hope for is early goal, maybe make it 2-0, and then do what we did against Wigan, which is just coast through to the full-time whistle, come away with no injuries, and conserve your energy for the big one against Spurs on Sunday. That's going to have to be. No one's offered any excuses. Everyone says they're going to win. But yeah, I think you go strong for this one. You got my sort of front line earlier, which is obviously Eza, Trossard, and Madueke behind Gyökeres. I go Rice, Zubimendi. Right back, I would go Ben White if you're not worried about his workload, just because I think that overlap threat is crucial. Hincapié left back with the usual 2 at centre half, and obviously Setford in goal. I mean Raya in goal. He was given a weekend off as well. I think that actually that's an overlooked fact about the weekend is that Raya was given the entire weekend to rest and recover and just have some family time. And I think that's really important for him as well. He can just switch off for the weekend. And I think, that might have done him the world of good.
Wednesday, titles over.
By the way, just go back to the previous comment. Sorry, do you want to back that up, please?
We must win or it's finished. Yes, and Thom will accept it.
They're even beefing from the comment section. This is great.
We did this pause as well. See, Sam is just a legend, man. Terrible manager keeps running players into the ground, and his player management is appalling. Thom, where your meds? Show us your meds, Thom.
The Thom's just completely unfazed,
Oh my god! Awesome, man. Shout out, man. Shout out.
How are you feeling going into this Wolves game, bro?
Again, this is a must-win, and I do hope we have a much better performance than we did against Brentford, and I also hope we have a much better performance than we did the last time. The last time we played Wolves it was one of the worst performances I've seen. No shots on target in like 70 minutes. But I do hope for a better performance in the time we played Wolves at home. But in terms of the lineups, Raya in goal. If Ben White is fit and ready, I would have him at right back. Saliba and Gabriel at centre back. Depending on Calafiori, if he's not fit, then I'll have Nkapé at left back. Rice and Norgard in midfield. I'd give Zubmendi a rest for the derby. I am playing around the idea of playing Saka in the 10, and then Madueke and Eze on the wings, or Eze in the 10, then Saka and Martinelli on the wings, one of the two, and then big old Gyökeres up front. Calafiori is injured, I'm afraid, Seb. He got injured again in the warm-up. Another warm-up injury, you'd have thunk it. Anyway, let's not get into that.
Oh my days. What's this? Eze to start. Odegaard must not come back in. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think either Eze or I would say who's the other one? Eze or Saka. There we go. Should be playing as the 10 for me. This whole fucking beefing in the chat,
Well, it's just not true. I'm sorry. That's when I get irritated. It's not true. The comment was simply untrue. It was untrue.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's just not. It's not correct.
Premier League or sack him. Oh my days. Odegaard bench for the rest of the season, then sold in the summer.
Yep.
Can you see that happening, by the way?
No,
There's been rumours circulating that Man United, or should I say,
Bayern Munich, right?
No, I think it's Man United.
No, Arteta would never sell Odegaard. He loves him too much.
I'm not even joking. I think he wants to go to United.
Nah, that was a troll account.
This is interesting. Would you guys still take Danny Olmo?
No.
No, he's done, man. He's washed up.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he washed?
My nan is better attacking midfield than Odegaard. Come on now. Of course I'd take Olmo.
Yeah, posh.
But he hardly plays, though.
I mean, is he injured right now?
No, he's not injured.
Anyway, Eze is more than capable of being a regular 10, and a competent manager wouldn't have loaned out Ethan Nwaneri.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ethan Nwaneri was a risk, right? As soon as you did it, you were playing with fire a little bit. I would have kept him around just because he's a good player who's capable of contributing still to this team. Obviously, it's unfortunate that Zerbi's gone at Marseille, but equally from Nwaneri, he goes there in theory, gets lots of minutes. That looks like that's not going to happen now. I think the reason that you could sort of defend it would be if you're going to play Max Dowman, who's back now. So we'll see what it is. Well, I'm sorry. It is. Go and check out the video. It is untrue. I'm sorry. It just
watch his video, man. Watch his video.
It proves it's untrue.
Thom,
I agree with you, Poch. I wouldn't have loaned out Nwaneri.
Thom, I was
going to get upset is when it's a lie, and it is a lie. I'm sorry.
I was going to ask about the Ethan thing, because I think we were speaking about this before you came on Murray's other stream. Like, we can't recall him back, can we? It's not.
No, there's no.
No. There's no recall clause on it.
Would you sack him if you don't beat Wolves?
No.
I mean, we all know my answer.
No, it's a decision for the end of the season on Arteta's future. That's where I'm at, and that's where I've been. And
I think
when you're on for 4 competitions, then I think you don't make the change now. If you make the change now, you risk all those other things. It's as simple as that.
No, but I think it's under some form of pressure, though. I think he needs to deliver the league this season.
Oh, undoubtedly,
100%.
undoubtedly.
Yeah, if he doesn't win anything, then that's an embarrassment when you're favourites to win all 4 competitions.
Yeah, because he was heavily backed this summer, man. Like all the tools he needed was gold.
I just pipe down. I've had enough of that now. To be honest, I'm not engaging. What was going to say? Yeah, no. I mean, look, on the Odegaard rumours, I think they're interesting. I don't give much credence to them at the moment because they're not necessarily come from reliable sources. And I think probably Poch is right. Poch. Sorry, I've called you Pochettino. Poch. Poch is right. I don't see a world where Arteta sells him, but I think if his form doesn't continue, if this form continues, I think. Or you're getting issues with the just whatever. Then I think it is a serious consideration you have to give that. Or if you're struggling with contract talks, if he's looking for Saka money, his output in the last 18 months hasn't backed that up. So I think there are worlds where it could happen, but I don't give it much credence at this moment in time. I think teams are sort of putting players on the list, and lots of teams will have Martin Odegaard on the list.
Okay, but a question for the panel: Should we take the band off him this summer?
Yes.
For me.
Sorry, AT. What was the question? You broke up.
New captain.
Yeah, should we take it off Odegaard this summer?
Yeah.
I think it's
take it off
something you
now.
consider.
Yeah.
I'm never too worried about who wears the armband. For me, it's about
No.
leadership.
He plays a role because when he wasn't the captain of Arsenal, his performances were a bit different to a certain degree. Right now, he feels like he needs to be a quarterback or something like that. Right? A real captain. Someone like Declan Rice is showing it on the pitch as well. So I feel that might take some pressure off Odegaard. I feel it might actually make me a better player.
Yeah, by the way, Josh has to go. Just
Big up, Josh.
What's coming up tonight. Well, not tonight, but this week.
Tonight, I'm assuming he's going to bed.
Yeah, I'm going to bed, man. Thank you, AT. Thank you. Means a lot, man. Means a lot. Yeah, so I'll be doing the Wolves game on Wednesday and then North London Derby on Sunday, innit? North London Derby. So looking forward to that. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I just a quick prediction for Wolves. Probably think it's gonna be like 1-0 to us, to be honest with you, or like 1 or 2-0. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. Lit show, and it's a show about your the Streamlab thing or Talk Studio thing crashing down again.
Week, won't it?
Hopefully it will next week. Yeah, but yeah, cheers, have you on, man, and have a good one, everyone. Take care.
Josh. See you
later.
Where were we again? We were talking about Odegaard, wasn't it?
Okay, so there's a question on the chat. Let's try this one out.
Would each of you sell Odegaard in the summer, and who would you buy to replace him? That's a good question.
I won't sell him because he adds very good depth to the squad. And I think we have more fish to fry in the other positions. My priority should be a striker, because I think we should let Gabriel Jesus go this summer and get Alvarez. In midfield, I think we're stacked. We see how Kai Havertz will be fully fit. We have Odegaard, we have Eze, we have Merino. Come on. So I think we should keep Odegaard and not sell him.
Where would you play Alvarez?
9? Ahead of Gyökeres. They could switch in some games.
Gyökeres has more goals than Alvarez in all comps this season.
Yeah, I know, but he'll give us. You're going to be a squad player. You give us depth.
Well, Alvarez will be a squad player for you. He starts, bro.
Well, if your guys goes to the bench, all well and good, bro. You have to fight for his place.
You need players to improve the first team, though. You want to kick on. if you win the league, obviously. But if you don't win anything,
Yeah, but if Jesus is going, aren't you going to replace him?
well, you've got Havertz.
The thing is, if we sign Alvarez, yeah, we've got two great options as strikers, but it's the Ramsdale Raya situation all over again.
Unless you sort of try and do something similar to what we've done with Gyökeres Havertz this season, because Alvarez can also play as that second striker role. So what you could see there is a change of formation, not a change of formation totally, because Havertz obviously when he's played close to Gyökeres, and I think that's been the key, right? Eze was closer to Jesus Jesus against Wigan. Again, it's Wigan. You've got to caveat it there, but Alvarez can also do that sort of similar role to Havertz in terms of he can be that second striker. He can be the number 9 as well, and more effectively than Havertz can, I think, because he's more clinical. But he can drop deep if you need him to, out of possession, obviously.
And he can also play on the left wing too.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to see him out there though. To be honest. Yeah, I'd rather see him as a second striker or number 9. I wouldn't want to see him out on the left.
Yeah, but having him as a second striker, wouldn't that make our midfield a bit lighter?
He does like to cut inside though, Dom, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I think in this team, I'd rather see Eze out there. For me, the summer priority, sort of similar to AT, and I'll just quickly jump in on the answer to this question. The summer priorities for me will be probably a potential centre midfielder, because I think there's going to have to be doubts about Moreno, because this looks like a real freak injury that he's got, and that would concern me going into the season. And I think Gordon Norgard is like another option in there, unless you go do another left back and you move Miles Lewis-Skelly into that position and give that a go. So one of those two, right? A left winger for me is really, really crucial. And then, but I do think there is a world where you do sell Odegaard and some, as I say, in terms of who wears the armband, I've never been bothered. I think you want loads of different types of leaders in the squad, and I don't really care who wears the armband, because players like Gabriel and Rice are going to lead regardless of whether they got the armband or not. It's why I always argue, don't bother giving me the armband, because I'm going to shout and yell and cajole the whole game whether I'm wearing it or not. So there's no point. And I think they sort of fall into that sort of category. But I think you look at Odegaard's form over the last 18 months, his contract's got 2 years to run as of this summer. I think if you're not getting good value for money for it and you're not getting the output, there is a world where you go, do you know what? If 60, 65, 70 million comes in, then you've got to be looking at it in all seriousness and go, yeah, it's not an absence of leaders in the squad. So you're not worrying about that. If this was Roy Keane at Manchester United or Patrick Vieira, in their pomp, in a team that say Emery's team, put them into Emery's team, right? You go, who the hell captains aside? It's not. We're not in that situation. There are plenty of players around that can lead. So you're not worried about losing your captain from that point of view. And his output's been low. So I think there is a world where that is a consideration. And if you get 60, 65 million, you can go out and spend 100 million on a replacement. The question is who, and I'm not sure. Not because I don't think there's options out there, just because I haven't given it any thought. But I'm sure that there are plenty of good options you could look out there. Morgan Rogers could be one. Rory, you've changed my mind on that.
Yeah, but he'd be too expensive, man.
Yeah, but you can do that.
And also, I'm very cautious about how Arteta manages these attackers in it, because look,
Yeah, same. But if Odegaard was going to move on, hypothetically, who would you replace him with? We're talking attacking midfielders.
Musiala, if you can afford him.
Musiala.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you got 65 million for him, just really quickly, just on the numbers here, I think you are looking at potential big money here, because if in the summer you sold, let's just for argument's sake say, these are players that could feasibly go. Trossard or Martinelli, probably one, not both, is an option. Trossard's not getting you big money. Ben White, you could be looking to sell. You're losing the wage of Jesus, but let's say you sell White and Trossard, you're probably getting 50 million. If you then add Odegaard to that, you're looking at 120 million. But because that's an instant injection and sugar rush of cash, plus the fact that we look like we're going deep in the Champions League, look like we're going to finish high in the Premier League, obviously, it's a lot, plus the revenue increases, it probably gives you a similar money spending-wise to this summer, because you've injected the sales. Net spend isn't your full cost of transfers, but it's an important metric in terms of what it allows you to spend because of the way the amortization works. So you probably could afford Rodrigo and Musiala and bring in a competent central midfielder. You know, someone like I can't think of an example, but someone like another Norgard type player, you know, but a 30-40 million version of that will come in and be sort of that squad player that can start. You could afford all of that just because of the sales.
So someone like Bruno G.
Bruno Guimaraes.
I can't see him coming in, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but by the way, Posh has to go.
I need to head off. Thank you for having me on.
Anytime.
Hopefully I'll see you guys pretty soon.
Good to see you, Posh.
Big up,
and I got it right this time. I didn't call you Pochettino.
No, you can't. No.
Sorry for that Freudian slip.
With Arsenal right now.
Oh my days. Is Thom bugging, by the way? I swear he's been in the same position for like hours.
He's just chill. I mean, to be fair, the one last thing I would like to say on Odegaard is I do think the hate is over the top, but he's certainly got to find his form. I do find the criticism.
So my issue is that season when he scored 15 goals, he set a bar, right, in 22-23 that he could not sustain. And the drop-off has been very bad. Like, the decline has been very bad. You can see it. Yes, there have been the injuries and whatnot. But with you being the captain of the club, there's some expectations that come with it. And honestly, he has really, really stunk up the place, you know.
Man said Mason Mount, you know. Bro. I'm telling you, if he was still at Chelsea, then maybe we'll consider it.
Mount is done, man.
But we don't buy Man United players. Like, the last Man
I wouldn't buy Mount. I wouldn't buy Mount.
Yeah, the last Man
United not been fit for 3 years.
Welbeck, if I'm not mistaken. Or Mkhitaryan.
It was Sylvester, then Welbeck.
No, I think it was Mkhitaryan.
Mkhitaryan was the last Man United player we bought.
Mkhitaryan, yeah, the worst scam deal in history, where both teams scammed themselves. We gave them a fake Sanchez and they gave us a fake Mkhitaryan. Terrible.
A lot of you are saying time to move on from Odegaard.
I think it's a genuine consideration of summer, but for now, if there's still time for him to show that he's worth his place at his club, because the talent's still there. He's just got to show it because the form is there. And there have been elements of it. There have been elements of it in recent weeks. It's just he was good after Christmas. Then he had a few poor games. Brentford almost summed up his season, right? Really good for 15, 20 minutes before the goal, then absolutely nothing. And it kind of sums up where he's at right now.
Says I would have taken.
And I feel so sad for him because we know that the ability is there, but he's not expressing himself the way he's expected to, and he's supposed to have influence within the team. But you can see, in all honesty, that the games where he doesn't play, we tend to play better, and that's really, really sad when you think about it.
I would have taken a Welbeck. To be fair, I think Chicharito was actually was a baller at Man United. I rated him.
Yeah, that was when he was still in his prime, though. He did well in Man United.
Yeah, in his prime. We'll sell you Ugarte 20 million.
I wouldn't take Ugarte if they gave us 20 million to take him and covered his wages.
Bro, I wouldn't take £20, bro. Chicharito was world class. Yeah, I rated him in his prime when he was at Man United, obviously.
Yeah, he was a good player for them, to be fair.
Yeah,
he wasn't a starter for them, and I think that sort of shows how good that side was at the time.
Yeah, and I think they also had Forlan at some point too.
No, we need Goretzka. Here we go.
Goretzka, but Goretzka does he play regularly at Bayern? I don't think he plays regularly at Bayern though.
Yeah, he doesn't really play at Bayern.
He's going to be available for free in the summer.
Backup, but we can't afford no passengers. To be fair, Tom, I want to ask you about Odegaard. I know you've been a defendant on Odegaard, but I think if a £70 million bid was going to come in for Odegaard in the summer, would you take it?
I've made a video about this, and I said, yes, I think I probably would. I think you can't. I don't really want to judge it halfway through a season, but yeah, I think if big money came in, then I think it would be something that we should consider. I think Andrea Berta's obviously got a good track record of selling players from his days at Atletico Madrid. So I think it would be something that we should consider if a big offer did come in. But yeah, I think if you sort of play like Odegaard, you've got to bring in a replacement. Julian Alvarez is a player that I like. There's also Michael Elise at Bayern. I think if we could attract a player like that, I think he'd be class. Back in the Premier League and back with Eze, that would be pretty good. Yeah, so I think if you were to sort of play like Odegaard, I think you'd have to find a replacement for him. But yeah, I can see it being something that the club consider, to be honest.
Yeah, but guys, we are going to wrap up because I need to get up early tomorrow. Tom, where can I find you real quick?
Rory, sorry, real quick. Rory, have you got to get up early because you've got to do a walk past, brush past in the local park, sit on the bench and wait for someone to drop off the newspaper? You know.
God.
I'm running with a theme. Sorry, Tom. Carry on.
That's all right. You can find me on the 14th Canon. Yeah, we got a video coming out tomorrow. There's a match day vlog from yesterday out now on YouTube and on Instagram. So I'd appreciate if you could check that out. And yeah, thanks for having me on.
Well, what about you, Dom? Any shorts this week? Well, should be right.
Yeah, I got one out.
I've heard it's starting to do videos again.
Yeah, yeah, mostly because I kept I went over and I thought, sod it, I can't be honest, we do it. But yeah, I've got one out tomorrow. Just on, we were touching on it earlier, just on the sort of the sort of lack of open play goals in the Premier League, and you know, also what this title race sort of feels more like a normal title race compared to the previous few years, which have been sort of slightly different, with the exception of that Arsenal City one. But even that was quite different. So that's tomorrow's video, and then obviously there'll be the Wolves preview on Wednesday. And you can check out my match reaction to the last Wolves game if you want, where you'll see that I wasn't overly happy with the performance or the result. Sorry, I was happy with the result, but not the performance. You know, that was back in December. You can check that out on my channel too.
I'm sorry, is AT a horror movie or something? What is going on?
He's a 3 o'clock kickoff.
Oh my days, the lights have turned back on. Now, this is actually creepy, you know?
Yeah, because no one was there. It's not Friday the 13th, is it?
Big up AFC always, by the way. 70 million rubber genie lamp with Arsenal selling history. They'll probably get 25 million. That's true, to be fair. Would we even get 40 million for Odegaard?
I think Odegaard would have to be a record sale, which isn't saying much because it's 35 rocks, but you know, it'd have to be a record sale surely for Martin Odegaard, especially in inflated prices these days. Like,
yeah.
I still don't know where AT has gone. Jesus, I'm a bit freaked out, you know.
I am now.
Yeah, lights have turned off and on. Like, yo, what is going on? I'm actually getting.
If he pops up with a scary mask on, I will literally shit myself.
Oh well, I've been there before. Don't worry.
At least yours will be in black and white.
Yo, where's this guy gone?
Well, Rory, what have you got coming up this week while we wait to see if AT's dead or not?
Well, should have a show tomorrow. Not gonna say who, but that'll be tomorrow, and Wolves match reaction, and of course we'll be covering the Spurs game. Oh my god,
he's back. He's not dead.
Bro, you in a horror movie or something? What the fuck was going on, bro? Your lights are going off and on, and Jesus Christ, lights are flickering in, and I was just going to ask you, like, anything coming up? You know?
Well, I did. So I'm going to do the match preview for the Wolves game tomorrow. Then I'll watch the game and do the match reaction after the game. Then, of course, we'll talk about what's going to happen in North London Derby. I know, because the games keep coming thick and fast. So there's so much content to go through, bro.
Yeah. Make sure you are, of course, dropping a sub to everyone who was figured on the panel. Obviously, Posh is on Twitter, so make sure you follow him on Twitter as well as Instagram, etc. And yeah, as I said, what's coming up on the channel this week? We got show tomorrow. Got a match reaction for the Wolves game, as well as, you know, a match reaction for the Tottenham game of the weekend, which of course is a massive game. So it's a busy schedule. But on that bombshell, guys, subscribe to the channel. Big up to all of you that have been locked in throughout the whole stream. I know, again, inconvenience with the streaming software. I can't help it, unfortunately. For some reason, it just keeps buffering, so I may have to use StreamYard. I don't know, but this may have to be the plan B, and at least we've got a plan B anyway, so we're not completely cooked. But subscribe to the channel, run the likes up on your way out. We are going to send you over to Tony Claude. I believe he's still live. He better be still live, because if not, I'll be fuming.
I'll check for you. He is. It doesn't appear to be.
And he's actually ended it. Bloody hell. Forget what I said.
He ended it 15 minutes ago.
Great.
Or in your world in 50 years' time. Still running with the theme.
Yeah. As I said, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to the panel, and I'll catch you in the next one in a bit.
Yeah, big ups, guys.